Well, hello, dear YouTubers, and welcome to another episode in the series of mini MMO with superhero content review. So, obviously, series is called Good Old New Superheroic MMO RPGs, and I'm Xavier360, looking at the final game in the series of these reviews, Marvel Heroes. So, well, let me start by saying some words about the history of the game. And as you might have noticed, it has a view from the top angle, so it is inspired by the famous series loved by loads and loads of old gamers like me. Obviously I'm talking about the Diablo series. This series has been going on for many years now, and one of the creators behind it, I think behind Diablo 2 particularly, Mr. Brevik, he went on to create his own little game studio called Gazillion, and basically every game in series of Diablo was made by Blizzard Entertainment, the same that made StarCraft and Warcraft games. Now this game is made by Gazillion, so it's also got one of the creators from Blizzard, but now he's working with his own company. So let me start by showing you the actual players, so-called, or characters that you can play as. If we go at the bottom left, we see a roster, and we got all type of heroes from obviously Marvel Universe, the successful comic selling company. It actually got sold to Disney recently, but in my opinion that's not such a bad change. So as we can see, there's like quite a bit of famous characters from both sides, so it's not just heroes, it's like heroes, anti-heroes. So let's have a look at Venom, one of my favorites. So Venom working with Spider-Man, eh? Who would have thought that would ever happen? But in this game it's possible. Or even with the symbiote Spider-Man. But yeah, if we take for instance Spider-Man, the most famous superhero of all times, then we got Ben Reilly following him from another dimension. This game has not just characters that you can play as, but some allies on your side as well, called the team-up heroes. So you got all sort of different team-ups, like from the films and from comics and from cartoons and from whatnot. And some are obviously heroes, some are not so much, because you know, there's a whole lot of characters that are not technically bad or evil, and nor they are good or kind to others. So the Gazillion went on and said, well, we know this is Marvel Heroes, but we'll also include the other side as well. So in this game you have my most notable heroes. My favorite ones are obviously, as I said, Venom, Wolverine, Spider-Man is one of the most comic heroes. I think he's been done greatly, and his powers are executed very well. So you got even the movements, there are several types. I can't show you the attacks in the hub but that's because people start spamming it if they are allowed to do stuff in the hubs. Then again, one of the really cool heroes who are technically anti-heroes is Lowkey, because what his abilities include is multiplying himself, like basically creating the illusions that are fighting for him. And unlike some of the film versions and comic versions and cartoon versions, they actually do deal damage, and they are quite real in this game. So you got the teleport that basically creates a illusion if you are not in the hub but in the fighting area. Obviously it didn't create now because I'm still in the hub. So let's go for a little roll. There is a whole list of places you can go in the story, and I can show you some of them, like not to spoil much. For example, in chapter 3 of the story, you need to go to the hand tower and obviously defeat Electra. So the quickest way to reach your target in this game is with teleports. Not all characters have it, obviously, but as you can see, Lowkey is taking advantage of this ability, and up we go, level by level. As you can see, once I'm teleporting, the copy of me is left behind me and they start fighting for me. Agent Coulson arrives on Ron Weasley's car, excuse me, on the flying car. Had to make that remark. Anyway, and supports me in the battle. So even if I don't attack anyone, he is going to start shooting the same as my illusions, basically. So once all the illusions disappear, he's going to throw grenades, like start attacking Electra, and I obviously make the final blow. This game is really highly rewarding, because pretty much anything you collect and use for your character in terms of items basically makes him any more powerful. And you can upgrade the certain items, like you've got 1 to 5 slots for gear for each character, then a ring slot, the Uru Forged basically from Asgard slot, you got artifacts, and you got the medal slot, as well as insignia for certain characters from certain groups. And you also got the pet slot, which can be upgraded, and actually it's not just for show, it actually hello there. It actually gives your characters some gameplay advantages once you upgrade it fully. So at the moment I only started upgrading this pet, so I don't have any advantages. But let me show you. Say on some characters like Juggernaut, why not? Oh, I can't change because I'm in private zone. But yeah, that's one of the disadvantages. But basically, everything you do in this game helps you to get only more awesome and upgrade your power and abilities. So this, for example, that allows me to have +2 to my stat speed, +2 to all my melee powers, or ranks obviously, not in terms of damage, 3% base damage to all area powers gets added every time I attack with area power, and so on. And what is good about this game is that it gets patched very, very often. And just before the birthday of this game, like when I'm making this review, they made an announcement that now they're going to do a review of characters at least monthly. So it's like next month, June, or technically this month already, they're gonna review like about a dozen heroes and either nerf or buff them. And again, I've got to say about the disadvantages while I talk about the good things. With each patch they seem to add, they include tons and tons of bugs as well that they have to fix in another mini patch or something. So it's a bit of juggling based on how many goodies they'd like to introduce and how many testing they actually do, so that they actually don't have as many bugs, but in the end they do. So basically, let's just sum up all the disadvantages and advantages in here, since I'm not doing the edited video for this one. Well, first of all, we've got many classic locations that are recognizable. So in hubs you got already Asgard, the Odin's Palace, where you'll obviously recognize the famous bridge that is kind of rainbow-like color, and it's going all the way to Earth supposedly. It doesn't really, but it goes to the gates at least. Then we've got loads of other peaceful hubs are basically peaceful locations. So we obviously have Xavier School, where we can meet Professor X, and you know, it just adds to the atmosphere of the game that you have all these characters. Hello Magneto, here to see your nemesis? Oh, and obviously Professor Xavier is right there, and you can actually take missions from him. And yeah, there are other zones like Shield Helicarrier, the Avengers Tower that you saw. There's also Shield Training Room, in which you can test your abilities and skills against the training dummies. So yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, let's write about some advantages and disadvantages. So the cons. Social, excuse me. This is another feature. The quickly removing trade chat and stuff. Okay. So let's sum up. What do we have here? We got the cons are that obviously I'm not subscribed to this channel now. Okay, let's try this then. I think it's local. So the cons are that first of all you have got no character customization, and you got a slight pay-to-win model in terms of having to purchase some heroes and team-ups with cash, because you can't farm enough in-game currency, but you don't have to again. So I forgot to remove the trade channel. Anyway, forget about it. So let's start again. cons are no character customization, page model is slightly there, and obviously you don't have such freedom of movement and basically choosing anywhere you want to go, as in DC Universe Online or Champions Online, because the view is from the top, and the controls are actually just point and clicked with the mouse. So you run around with the mouse and can't like really do all the hits with the mouse apart from right mouse button. But again, you can change that if you go to options, and there are tons of them, believe me. So the pros of the game are obviously going to be the great choice of epic characters in the game from Marvel Heroes, legendary costumes, and I'm gonna show what I mean in a second. And obviously you've got the very rewarding system that allows you to basically buff your character with almost everything. And apart from that, you got new updates that include some bugs, but still include loads of cool new stuff to do. So like, they recently included achievements, they recently made it possible, well, not recent, but a couple of months ago, they included the ability to upgrade your pet rather than just like have it for enjoyment of running around. So yeah, there we go. Cons and pros. And yeah, I just didn't want to stop gameplay on this video because I think it's not really fair on viewer to show only some bits of the game and then go straight to the screen with some words. But yeah, as you can see, Juggernaut's abilities vary a bit from other characters. So you've got like the bar in the right that is supposed to be mana or spirit or whatever you want to call it, but it actually reduces by itself if you don't move. When you start moving, but in any way, like with any ability, it starts filling up. So he uses momentum to actually build up his mana, and pretty much any skill that you choose for him, and there is various skills for each character that you can upgrade in whichever way you want. They are going to be sometimes not related to any mana, so you don't need any mana, or sometimes you're gonna have to use some mana to make more damage, but in the end you don't need any mana for any of his abilities, so he's kind of special character in that meaning. Similarly, Hulk doesn't need any mana now either, because they reviewed him, and by the word review I mean that they basically looked at his build and decided to change the gameplay completely. And the main thing about Marvel Heroes is that every time you choose a new hero to play as, it's as if a whole new game. So, for example, if I change to Rogue. She's a very special character. Because guess what? She doesn't actually use just her powers. She is able to use the powers that she stole from other players. So this one, obviously, no, that's the first one I need. Or crank. Okay, my powers obviously have been reset. But yeah, she is able to steal the powers from other players. So let me show you one example. If I upgrade this power to the full, this one I've stolen from Deadpool already. So let me put this power in here. Oh, actually I'm going to use this one here and steal this one from my team up, which is Thor's power, King Thor, and it doesn't work because obviously I have this power already somewhere. Yeah, let's just go and check if we've got any people to steal the power from. Yes, I don't really care about the story at the moment. Yeah, perfect. We have X23 here. So if I click on her, I'm gonna steal her power. This is X23, isn't it? Oh no, my bad, it's Scarlet Witch. So what I got from her is Chaotic Hex, which basically allows me to cause masses of damage in the area, well, not on the area, but far away. So let's go test that power out. So as you can see, I just learned this new power and it allows me to have new attacks on the enemies. The good thing about this game is that the more heroes you have, the more powerful essentially you become. So that, for example, if you have more than one hero that you leveled up to level 60, then you have bonus to all the other experience that you get for other heroes. And that is called Hero Synergy Bonus XP. Apart from that, you got the actual experience system that they also introduced, I think, at some point on their previous birthday, on the birthday of the game obviously, that allows you to use all the experience that you gather after level 60 and spend it on a mega system. Now a mega system gives you little bonuses every now and again, so like health regeneration, like physical defense, all type of defense, attacks, ratings, the attack damage, the stats upgrades, the different types of boosts towards experience and so on. And everything you do in this game pretty much only makes it better, because as recently they added achievements. There are tons and tons of things you can get little boosts from, basically special coffers of achievements, and you can use them to get extra special item find, rare item finds and experience. They're basically the stats that allow you to get better loot from enemies, and the whole system is aimed to only make the player better, and if they have to know something they will warn the players on the forums or something, and they will make sure that it is necessary to know them, so they'll only do it like if the game is bugged because of superpowered hero, or if it's not intended that way. Pretty much everything they patch is aimed at making the game more enjoyable and making the characters more powerful. So one of my favorites before was Silver Surfer. They nerfed the ability, one of his abilities at some point. I think that was electromagnetic flux, but in return they basically boosted some of his other abilities, so I think they've done a pretty good job on it. Obviously each character has a different type of different speed of regeneration, of mana regeneration, or spirit regeneration if you want to call it, and each character feels very much unique with his own gameplay, whether you're a tank, a damager, a support type of character, it doesn't matter. And to sum it up, I'll just like to say that one of the best things in this game is obviously being able to have the epic heroes from your favorite cartoon shows, like for instance one of my favorite X-Men was the teleporter, Nightwing. Oh, my bad, not Nightwing, Nightcrawler. And I call him my favorite. And basically you can literally have the same powers that are included in the comics, cartoons, and you can feel like you're playing one of those characters. So if Daredevil is like blind but he's acrobatic as hell, then he will do cool animations and like jump around and hit people. If Black Widow is stealthy, then you are able to use the invisibility in the game, and you know, like if Juggernaut can become invincible, like in here, he will become invincible, and that's his invincibility shield. And for instance, if you want to see a little demonstration of what you can do, there are loads and loads of modes in this game as well. So like you can go free roaming into Midtown, you can go free roaming into Industry City, you can go into certain terminals which are not as free roaming, but they allow you to basically confront the epic villains from your favorite heroes comics. And I'm still discovering the game myself. I think it's amazing. I think it's really worth a try, especially considering that it's free to play, like all the other MMORPGs in this series. And again, if you want to pay for some heroes, then you can, but you don't have to. And at certain point, you can get some currency that allows you to purchase other heroes and team-ups. So again, you only pay if you want to. Oh, my advice, if you do invest in this game, just pay for the experience boost, because experience does matter in this game even after you reach the highest level. And here we go, Shocker, Spider-Man's nemesis, one of his nemesis. Let's activate the special thing, and we defeated him. Eternity Splinters are obviously the currency that allows you to purchase extra characters. Cube Shard is the thing that you can trade in for cool items. And again, like in DC Universe Online and like in Champions Online, you can have loads and loads of stuff bought for special currencies. So like, you've got different stuff that you can use to either purchase or upgrade your gear, items, and so on. Anyway, I think that pretty much sums up their review of Marvel Heroes, and I say this game is really worth it if you either like Marvel Heroes, so like all the characters from Marvel Universe, or if you like Diablo series, or if you like both. If the answer to either of those questions is yes, then just give this game a try. That was Victor Zwagging 360, and I'll see you next time.